back to my channel, Life with Toppa. If this is your first time actually visiting my channel, you know what it is. This is Life with Toppa, and we're gonna be talking about things that happen in the infamous streets of Washington, D.C. Well, this was a situation that took place with me and an individual who I actually respect up to this day. I have to give him his props because you have to give people props where props is due. This individual was an individual in the streets of Washington, D.C. He was a hustler. He was getting money. And, me and him had a run-in. And how me and him had a run-in was the first time I actually seen this individual, I thought that he was his brother because they actually twins. And I seen him and thought it was his brother, but it wasn't him. So I seen him in a restaurant one day, and I was like, "Little man, what's up? How you gonna pass me like that?" He didn't answer me, so I took offense. I'm like, this dude just walked past me like he didn't know me from nowhere. What the fuck is going on with this dude? But anyway, when he was exiting the restaurant, he let it be known that's my brother. So when he said that was his brother, I was like, wow, I didn't know little man had a brother. So anyway, make a long story short, I did my investigation as I always do. I digged up the dossier on dude and I realized they was twins. He had a brother, and this was the twin that I was looking at. But anyway, I'd been seeing this twin before. Don't get it misconstrued. I seen him before, but I never really took a good look at him. But I seen him before in other different little places and other little different situations. But anyway, how me and him ended up having a situation was I went to a club one night, which was a famous club this was on the bottom line of Maryland in DC, which called Crossroads. Anybody that's in the DMV, they pretty much know about this club right here that's been around for a while. Well, I went to this club that night and I run into a dude that I know that me and him used to be on Bedford Streets back in the day in Jamaica. And me and him kicking it in the club, and he let me know that he pushing the green. And I said, yeah. And he wanted me to come get a pound of the green so he could see what he working with. And I said, all right, no big deal. I'm coming down there to come see you. He was telling me where he was at on 14th Street, and I was like, yeah, I know where you're at. Actually, it wasn't even 14th. I think it was 13th Street or 14th Street, one out of them. It doesn't even matter. But I went down there and checked him. I know where the place was at. So I went down and I checked him. He gave me a pound of weed just to see what he was working with. And at the time, he wasn't aware of my reputation in Washington, D.C. He wasn't aware that he was aware as actually who he was really dealing with. He didn't know that I had a name by then in these streets. And my name ring bells all over these streets. It could be a negative or it could be a positive. He didn't know that. So when I went down there and I got a pound of weed from him, I said, all right, I seen it. But the situation that I seen him in, I pulled him up. I had to pull him up because he don't really know. This was Washington, D.C. And they was having high-powered weapons that's lay around, leaned up on the side like they was back in Jamaica. And I'm like, letting him know, Holmes, you can't be in this place right here, because if they run up in here, one of these weapons right here, it's a life sentence. Because in the District of Columbia, they don't have gun laws back in the days. So therefore, if you catch with one of these firearms, these high-power firearms, which is a rifle, you actually looking at a life sentence. And he didn't really know that, so I had to let him know, listen up, man. This whole environment, this whole setup right here, this is not even healthy for you. You need to switch this up in order to survive the rain. But anyway, while I was getting the pound of weed from him and everything, there was another nigga in there was buying weed from him. Meaning that he was buying pounds. He was buying over 20 pounds of weed. But the whole time he was in there, he was shaking like a leaf. telling the dudes, man, who work with serve him so he can get the fuck out of here. Cause he know as well as I know that if they come up in here, it ain't gonna be pretty. Cause he been in the Washington D.C. area for so long, he know that these niggas, the games they playing, this shit right here ain't the right setup. I'm not even exaggerating. These dudes had at least even about 10 rifles, AR-15s leaned up, and AKs leaned up all together. And I'm like, Holmes, y'all can't be this imitation shit. Y'all can't be trying to do this and having dudes coming in here buying weight weed and thinking that y'all gonna intimidate them with this bullshit right here, because what it's gonna do, they're gonna drop it down on y'all and then get the police to run up in here, because that individual is gonna drop the dime. He's gonna serve as the affidavit that's gonna actually get the stamp where the police need to actually get that warrant that he need to actually run up in there legally. And that's what ended up happening. But anyway, the dude who actually run this spot is the same dude who's the twin brother of the next brother. He came up in the spot, seen me, looked at me a certain way, and like he said to his mind, what the fuck this nigga doing in here? Because as I told y'all, I had a reputation in the streets that resonate with the streets. So at the time, he was on defense mode when he see me. But anyway, I ended up getting the pound of weed left out of there because I really don't need no pound of weed. I just wanted to see what he was working with. And I got the pound of weed, got out of there. Then I left and I went down on Kennedy Street. So I was in between 7th and Kennedy, between 7th and 8th in Kennedy, where they had this store, this Jamaican store, which was called C&D back then. So I was standing on C&D, just killing some time, man. I looked down the street and I happened to see about 5 niggas coming, and the way they walking, you could tell the aggression that he was walking with, like they was on some gangster shit. So by me peeping this and seeing what they was on, I was like, oh, these dudes right here, they coming on something. At the time, I had a 45 on me, a rubber grip, 45 with an extension clip on me. And the first thing came to my mind was to basically just open fire on them, because I didn't even like the way they was basically stepping. The first thing came to my mind was just to open fire on them off the grip and have them scattered. But the thing what stopped me from doing that, once I opened fire on them, I had to go into this store. And going into this store is what I was going to use for my getaway. But at the same time, I know these people ain't right, because I know they passing information to the police. How I know that? I had the police themselves pull up on me in 4th District and told me about these people. So I know they was passing information to the police. Every time they pass information to the police, they would pull up on me and let me know about this shit. That they done told them this, they done told them that. Yeah, even when the individual truck got shoot up right in front of y'all place, y'all went to the police and told them this and told them that. I know everything. You know, I just didn't make y'all know that I know what's going on. Even though y'all had a situation with a dude who came to y'all place and started picking up shit and didn't pay for it, and y'all basically approached me about it, and I paid for it and told you I'm going to deal with the situation and get that solved, even though I didn't have nothing to do with that individual. But I got that shit solved. But y'all still basically been passing information to the police. I already know about that. Just to let y'all know, even though y'all think I didn't know. But it is what it is. Me get back to the story before I get off track. So the dude, I seen him coming. So when I seen him coming, I didn't draw my weapon. I basically left my weapon where it's at, but I had one in the head. So I just wanted to see what the fuck they really was on. So when he basically pulled up on me, he said, man, Holmes, I seen you at my spot, meaning at his trap house. I was at his spot that he sells drugs out of. So he was like, if you're thinking about bringing me a move, I'm not going for it, so just take it out your head. So I'm like, Holmes, I'm not thinking about bringing you no move, because if I was going to bring you a move, it would have been already over with. So therefore, You basically stepping out here in broad daylight with these rest of these individuals behind you, wasting your time. Because if I was coming for you, I would have been came for you. You already know my reputation in the street. I never made off an individual and miss. I don't do that. When I come, I'm coming, and I don't do no missing. You supposed to already know that. So therefore, for you to be saying that I'm coming for you, that's a no-no. I ain't wasn't coming for you. You need to find out the history. I know your brother. I know the individual I was dealing with, and I take them individuals as friends. I don't harm friends. If you know you're not considered as a friend, now you consider as an enemy. So that's a whole different story. So I had no intention of coming for you, but what he did, I can't really be mad at him, because at the same time, that's what I would have did if I was in his shoes, because I'm checking that shit off the gate, because I'm not basically letting nobody violate me or actually put me in a situation, period, or think they could come and take my shit or whatever the case may be. So I wasn't thinking them thoughts, so therefore I let him know there's no beef between me and him. Everything is still good between me and him, but he just came to actually let me know, he ain't going for the BS. But that's ain't nothing for me to know, because I wasn't coming for you. But as I said, at the same time, there were certain individuals that with him that I said when I seen them, if I see them anywhere else again, I was going to dead them. Because just to have the nerves, just to step to me in these streets, I took that person. Niggas just don't step to me in these streets. I don't have those type of situations. I basically, me being in them streets back in the days, I actually put demonstrations down on individuals who do shit like this. I don't play that type of game. I'm not going for that shit. I don't care fuck who you is. I don't care fuck where you come from. You could have come from jungle, Rima, yard. I don't care fuck. I don't care fuck where you from. Because everybody is touchable. Everybody. Even when you think you're not touchable, you're touchable. So, back then in the streets of Washington, D.C., this is one of them situations that took place. But that individual is an individual that me and him actually got cool. And I respect him up to this day. And I salute him, because he's one of them individuals who stand firm in these streets. A lot of dudes ain't never stand firm, but he's one of them dudes who stand firm. He actually ended up doing a federal bid and stand firm and never told on nobody, never dropped no dime, and actually did his time. So I have to give respect where respect is due. So, salute. You know who he is. His name start with a B. I ain't got to call no name, because I'm not on the calling name tip. He had a reputation in the streets of Washington, D.C., and he's one of the realest hustlers to actually touch the streets of Washington, D.C., and actually survive in the rough streets of Washington, D.C. You know who he is. He got a twin brother. I'm just going to say where they're from, but I'm not going to say his name. He's from Matches Lane. Yeah. And you know who he is. So, I ain't got to speak on no more of that, and I ain't, because I'm not into calling names. But, that's just one of them situations that took place between me and the individual in the streets of Washington, D.C., the infamous streets. Chop, chop, chop. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and follow this Topping Our Black Flag movement, because there's many more to come. And look out for that book named Knockers that's coming to these streets real soon. Chop, chop, chop. You know what it is.